anxiety, from anxiety to ecstasy. Now, I don't know how many of you have thought about it. That do you have anxiety? Can they turn on their video so I can talk to them, Rakesh?
Friends, feel free to turn on your video. Sadhana, what you can do is you can turn on your gallery view on the.
Yeah, gallery view, but many this thing are dark completely.
Yeah.
There is black, all black windows. Because see, this is interaction, and you are not doing some serious meditation, so no need to hide behind your name or the darkness or something. Darkness is inside, I agree, but that's what we are going to see.
Yeah, it's just that when they turn their video off, it become dark. Not that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Otherwise, not.
So yeah, so feel free, friends, to open up yourself for the interactive session that we're gonna have.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Okay, I'll tell you my view that why I chose this subject. Rakesh and I were just chatting, and now after not only after Corona, but in general in our life, when we really start looking at it, now we don't look, we hide it because that's our way of life. Whatever pain, whatever discomfort, unpleasantness is there, nobody wants to face it because it gives more pain. So the natural tendency is to deny or reject or hide or become unconscious about it. Start drinking, start taking drugs, or start becoming ambitious, do some social service, go into politics, and many other things, or become sick, the best option. Because when you are sick, nobody bothers you then. They leave you alone, you get their sympathy. So they are all ways of avoiding anxiety. Now, what is anxiety? There are two ways, you can say, two types of anxieties. One is natural. Natural is called adaptive emotion and is given by nature. It's the evolutionary process. Now, this anxiety or fear, most animals or birds, they have some amount of fear, but not this so much anxiety and fear. They don't have it. The basic, all my am I going to do is completely based on Osho insights. This is not a clinical psychology. I am not a trained therapist. I am not a doctor. So we are not going to do any kind of operation or any medicines or analysis. Purely Osho insights. What Osho says, anxiety, the seed of anxiety is sown in us, in our mind, since our childhood, since we are born. The moment the child is born, everybody jumps on it. The mother jumps, the father, the grandparents, and the uncles and aunt, everybody wants to mold the child according to their ideas, their ambitions, their desires. So the anxiety started happening from the childhood. And the child cannot please everyone because is very weak, is helpless. And the weakness is it wants love from the elders. It wants their support. It wants their protection. So this is the helplessness. So the child poor, nobody asks, how do you want to become? What is your desire? What is your wish? What are your likes and dislikes? Nobody asks it. So suppressing its own natural instincts, the child start growing. Yeah. And then the anxiety starts with comparison, with competition, so often very common in our life. Then ambition, the right race of being number one, defeating everyone. So you are creating so much stress in the child. Then he goes to the school and the teachers, everybody wants best results and they have their own vested interest. because the teachers, the school wants good results. So they have a name in society and they get grants and they get money from government or from other people. The parent, the family wants good results from the child because their pride, their prestige depends on it. That my son, my daughter is so intelligent. So my collar is tied. So these are all the stages and the levels of anxieties we are living, and we are not born with it, we start living with, without realizing that what it is going to do to us when we grow up. All the time we are struggling, all the time we are competing with each other. And what happens then, slowly a rift is being created. Your heart says one thing, your mind says another thing. The mind is trained by society and by the outside world, and your heart is hungry for natural feelings. So there is a competition between love and intellect. And that's the greatest anxiety. Another is inside and outside. Our whole life is so superficial, just showing off to others. When others say you are good, yes, then you feel good. So pleasing them all the time. So look at the divisions we are living with, inside and outside, then past and future, then lower and higher, then we divide our body. That's a grave mistake. Do you know that? Because the lower part is bad and only the upper part is accepted. And all the baser instincts, all the desires, all the passions, they all are sitting in the lower part. And just recently I read that your feet and your legs, they are the most important parts of your body, scientifically, neurologically, and psychologically. They are the most important, best parts of your body, because 50% of veins are in the legs and in the feet, soul of the feet. 50% of nerves are in the feet. And the locomotive, the movement of the whole body is done by the legs and feet. The acupressure points, they are in the sole of your feet. So if your legs are strong, if your feet are strong, and your lower part, down your waist, your health in the older age depends on how strong your lower part is. And that lower part is completely denied all your life. This is so self-destructive. And then what happens? By denying all the repression, where does it go? It goes to your brain, this part of the brain. And then anxiety becomes a neurosis. And once it becomes you know what is neurosis? There are nerves, millions of nerves in the brain all over. Neurosis is the disease concerned with the nerves. And when it becomes neurotic, then it's out of your hands. And then all the effects of that is shown in your psychosomatic diseases, in your body, in your mental disorder. And then you are completely gone, because then you visit a doctor. You go to the clinic, psychoanalysis, and there are some 5, 6 standard drugs which are given for anxiety. And the doctors themselves are very anxious people, because they are treating all the neurotic people. So look at this vicious circle. An ill person treating an ill. So both blind man holding each other's hand, There is a saying in Hindi, Andha Andha Theliya Dono Koop Padant. So one blind man leading to another blind man, and they start walking on the street, and they all, both of them fall in the well. That's what we are doing. So in this workshop, what we are going to see, each one of you have a very different kind of anxiety. That's your very primal thing which you are holding to yourself. So each one finds what is important, what is the primal in your life, which and how do you find it? It is recurring. It comes again and again. In a particular situation, immediately it comes. For example, there is a saying. All these sayings are very important. Huh? They tell about your body. Pain in the neck. What is that? Someone is coming, a guest is coming, you say, oh, she's a pain in the neck. What does it mean? When you see her, your neck start paining. Yeah? That means you are storing your negativity, your dislike for that person in the neck. Or now they say pain in the ass, which is worse. Or butterflies in stomach. How can butterflies go there? But when you are nervous, when you are afraid, when you are worried, your stomach starts fluttering. So all these are very, very graphic and very important signals your body is giving. So what happens if you start working from your body, from that end, the mind starts relaxing and releasing the tensions. So we are going to start working from the body. So I am going to ask you, not now in the workshop, to find out your own anxiety. So you have a special kind of anxiety. So you are unique in that way. So find your own uniqueness. And then the cause. And how do you find the cause? The cause is always in the childhood, without exception. Our life is formed, our mind is formed in that state. Exactly like a tree has its roots, has its whole life in the roots below the ground. So if the roots are healthy, if the roots are strong, that person will be, the tree is going to be very nice, flourishing, flowering, and fruition. So you are going to go to your roots. And if you go to that state, you will certainly find the reason. You know that, but unconsciously. So the curtain, the veil that we have created with meditation, you have the strength to remove it. And when you remove that, whatever you see, maybe something like a cancer, not a real cancer, but something like very painful thing, doesn't matter. One interesting question I read today by our show, when somebody asked him, why pain is why we suffer from pain. So he said, pain is not suffering at all. You make it a suffering because you reject it. Nobody wants to accept pain. So he says pain is a situation. You make it a suffering by rejecting, non-accepting. So we go turn the whole circle, and what we do, accept it. You imagine pain as an energy. It has come from something, and it's like a storm. And there is very interesting thing happens. If you accept the pain, then what happens? It becomes part of your system. It's a very deep secret, Osho has said. when you accept pain, whatever negative there is, when you accept fear, when you accept greed, whatever, totally, it becomes part of your system. That means you are enriched by it. So it's a very new approach and a very positive approach. And for that, you will have to do meditations, you will have to do some exercises, you will have to expose yourself to similar like minded people in this friendly, safe, and secure atmosphere, which I promise that you will be well protected. But if you want to cure your anxiety, express. That's the only way. Don't try to be a gentleman, don't try to be a lady, very sophisticated, educated, high class. Drop all this. Be natural. And then you will find the same energy which is bothering you, which is really bog you down, which makes your life hell, become joy. For joy, you don't have to do anything. There was a very nice line, Osho, I made a poster of it, that he says there are two words, delight and joy. So delight means you enjoy small things of life. Every detail like sunshine and sunrise and sunset and the leaf fluttering and the wind is dancing. They are small joys of life. So you take the delight. Joy is something divine. Joy, like it descends from above and it settles inside you. And delight opens the door and sends the invitation to joy. So that's a very amazing insight. So we are going to see how we practice them. It's not just a talk, how we incorporate. And if you really go for it, in 2 days, you will be a different person. That's a promise. If you do it, of course. So the time, I don't know where is Rakesh. Yes, disappear again.
Right here.
Why do you close again and again? So what
Okay.
are the timings?
Timings today for the
No, workshop.
it's on November 29th, and let me just share my screen and you will get to know all of it. Just give me 1 minute. So here are the details of the event. November 28th, 29th, and timings are, okay, I have to open another screen for that. So give me 1 minute.
But there is no time for that.
Yeah, I'm going to put it out there too. Hold on, just give me 1 minute.
For India, it is 7 to 11.
So yeah, it's right here. So the timings are 7:30 a.m. It's right here. So
7:30 a.m. to, yeah, it's clear now. Okay, 7:30 to 11:30, Eastern 8:30. You are lucky, yeah. We are, we are in the evening, 7 to 11. Okay, so it's good for US people.
yeah, for the US.
Also for Europe, London, Paris, for everyone except for India.
No, for US also we have to get up too early.
That's good for meditation.
I know. Yeah, especially for the people from the Pacific part of the US, their programs start at 5:30 in the morning. which is good. You'll be done by 9:30. So then you have all day to really soak in that energy that you get from the event.
Okay. Yeah, you can take it down now.
So the timings are, I think, pretty clear to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If you have
Yeah.
any question, you can call me.
Yeah.
You know.
And also in the end, I've invited musicians. First day will be Sudhanand. Second day, two musicians, violin and flute together. They're composing and they'll be present. So there'll be live experience of how anxiety can become ecstasy.
So friends,
That's the plan.
yeah,
So if you have any questions, if you don't understand anxiety which you have, so please ask.
we'll take some questions, and at the end, for the last 10 minutes, we'll show you the musicians' sample of music, how good they are. You know, they're all internationally renowned musicians, and it's going to be, it's really a wonderful event with all the celebration, and the sadhana giving us whatever she already shared has already helped personally me. I'm pretty sure a lot of you also has found help in just a little uh, sharing that she has just now. So think about it. We're going to have it for 8 hours on weekend. I will just open this for questions, and if you have any question, raise your hand. You won't be able to unmute yourself unless I do that here, because if I unmute you all, it become very noisy. So please raise your hand or type in your question to the chat.
Yes, Raj Anand.
Raise
Yes,
your
Raj.
hand in the okay.
Raj is asking.
Rajiv, who's asking?
Not Rajiv, Raj Anand here.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Are you listening, Miss Amrit?
Yes, yes. I listen very well. Please speak.
No, actually, I would like to know how I can achieve ecstasy, because I am suffering from some sort of depression for the last 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Ecstasy, if you heard me carefully, ecstasy is the result of going through agony and reducing and releasing your anxiety. So the process is first find out the reason for your anxiety, first identify the anxiety, then find out the reason. You may have to go back to your childhood, yeah, share that, express and expose. Then we'll do some meditations, and then it's the energy which is stuck there. Anxiety
So
is not just,
should I
yeah.
have to go to Pune commune, Osho commune to
Oh no,
practice?
online,
Huh?
online right here,
Online.
wherever you are.
Oh, you will guide me to do the
Online,
meditation?
online, yes, to all of us. It's a group meditation, so all of us.
Raj, go to oshodallas.com. You'll find all the information. That's next weekend.
Osho?
Dallas.com.
Dallas.
I just posted on the chat. Just
Yes, please do post me. Please do post me.
oshodallas.com. Okay.
OshoDallas.com.
Yeah, just search for it. You'll find it. Okay.
Samia's question.
So Samaya, I'm going to put you on the spotlight.
Yeah.
All right, Samaya.
Yes.
Hello, Sana. Hello, Rakesh.
Hello, Samia. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Samaya.
Good
And
to see you too.
thanks for making your registration for this event.
Yeah, please ask.
Thank you.
Samia,
Yes, Sadhana. My experience with anxiety is that I get anxious about the future, like about future events, about future events that are happening right now in the present, but I don't know the outcome.
Yeah.
I worry about that outcome. It's about the future. Whereas depression is about past events. like pain, and I experience pain or things like that about past
Yeah.
events.
Yes.
So anxiety is
Okay.
more about future than the
Okay.
past.
Okay. Yeah. So anxiety is not alone. Yeah, it doesn't come alone, but you have a past and you have a future. You are living in present right now, but
Yes.
that's the only point where you are not. You understand? The
Yeah, yeah,
present is now and you are not there.
yeah, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, your mind, your body is there, but
Yeah,
your mind is either in the past or
yeah,
in the future.
yeah,
Yes?
yes.
Okay, depression at one end, anxiety, future, yeah, anxiety at another end about future, they
Yeah,
all are one. Yeah, it's like an arrow which has two ends.
yeah,
One is past, one is future.
yeah,
Because you are loaded with past
yeah,
and you can't take the burden, you are projecting it on future because
mm,
you think your future is going to be the same as your past. You understand?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
don't take care of your anxiety. Don't think about future. Drop your past.
Mm-hmm,
And when that burden is gone, the
mm-hmm,
other end of that is the future.
mm-hmm,
Actually, you know what happens? When you drop the past, the future goes away automatically
mm-hmm.
because it's a projection of the past.
So you are telling me it's the same thing, like
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
same
Because
thing.
time, see, you cannot divide time. Time is not divided.
Mm,
Time is just one expanse. Time is like the sky.
mm,
It doesn't come, it doesn't go,
mm-hmm.
yeah, it doesn't move. We say the time has gone very fast. It is not going anywhere. Or the time is going so slow that I could kill, I am killing the time. My time doesn't go. Time doesn't go anywhere. Mind
Yeah.
goes.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So sometimes when you are enjoying, you see, it was so short.
yeah, yeah. So
And when
true.
you are in pain, you said, my God, it's so long. 1 minute is like 1 hour. So it's the mind which comes and goes. Time doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
true. Yeah, true.
And this you will realize when you start living in the present. Otherwise not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that we'll
That's
see in the workshop how it is done.
yeah.
Okay.
We have
Yeah.
to be conscious all the time.
But this is don't go into philosophy. So easy to talk about it. Yeah, difficult to practice. Okay, let's take Apurva's question.
Good morning.
Apurva, you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm.
what I've whenever we met last, there was a lot of issues that came out, and even though I see them, um, I can't really pinpoint to one or two. I have a
Mm.
lot of them. So in this
Yeah.
weekend session, will
Yeah.
we be able to do at least a few, or will there be a way that I can now address the other ones as well? I mean, I'm trying to see if it just, do I have to keep doing this session all the time?
Yeah. So the session, you can have an individual session with me also later. But what happens, there is some major anxiety.
Right.
All the issue doesn't have the same intensity. It's like a family, and there is a head of the family.
Right.
So find the head. Yeah. What is the main anxiety?
So
And if you can pinpoint it, if you can identify, the other smaller things will disappear.
So, is it possible to have some kind of a questionnaire before we start the session to kind of help us come to that main issue? Because I know, like sitting in one place, they just flood my head. Like there's like so many, I
Yeah.
think the little branches come out more than the big tree itself.
So
So,
maybe before the course, we can talk and I can help you identify your major anxiety and you bring it in the workshop.
okay, that would help.
Because the time is so short and we are online.
I
Yeah,
know.
I cannot come to you and I cannot sit with you.
Right.
Yeah. So taking this into account, the drawbacks of online,
Yes.
we can save time because one person, we cannot give so much time to one person.
Right.
So let's do the homework first and to bring your major anxiety in the workshop. That's possible.
Thank
Yeah?
you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Go ahead,
Anyone else?
Sandeep ji, go ahead, ask your question.
Hello, Ma. I have some question for you. Just I was thinking that you told that if someone is in pain,
Yeah.
if someone is in pain, one approach is to accept it. Means
Yes.
if you have some sort of pain or suffering, you have to accept it. And I've also heard Osho saying like there are techniques that you can
Yes.
realize much before if something
Yeah.
wrong is going to happen to your body.
Yeah.
So can't we work on that approach? Why to make the body suffer if one can avoid it?
Yeah.
So let me rephrase your question because you have typed it. Because the voice was not clear. What you've typed is if someone is in pain, one approaches as told to
To
accept it.
accept it.
I have heard Osho saying that there are techniques to see the forthcoming issue much before they happen.
Yeah.
Can we work on this approach for a better life? Because someone is in a pain or suffering, maybe he or she accepts it. That is fine, but why to suffer if one can avoid? That's a good question.
That means, is this acceptance? Why to suffer if one can avoid? You already decided to avoid it. This is not acceptance. It means, now look at your question and you yourself read it, you meditate on it, what you have written. Your whole question says about avoiding pain. How can I avoid? One thing is jump and have a different approach, go in future. Why suffer? Why have pain? Pain, what Osho says, pain has to be accepted. There is no acceptance in your question. Read it again. Okay? Acceptance is different and difficult because, again, you don't want to be painful, you don't want to suffer. But I'll tell you a technique by which you can accept the pain without suffering. Yeah? And
Is there any remedy for vertigo?
Vertigo, but I don't know. It's part of anxiety or what? I think it's a medical issue.
No, medical issue, but it is very much related to, I mean to say, otorhinolaryngologist. Is there any doctor who can let me know? Because I was having depression for a long time, and I developed typical manias, and due to that, I am having vertigo. And so, how to get rid of that through Osho's teachings and Osho's technique?
You are not going to get rid of all this in 2 days, in 4 hours a day. It's not possible. And I'm not going to deal with medical issue. That's not my area. I'm not trained for that.
Is there anybody
I
here?
don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not into medical, so I can't help you in this. But we can go to the root cause.
Any meditation, chakra balance, aura purification,
They
and
are
all that?
very superficial. These are all cosmetic meditations. They give you some solace and you feel great. I'm balancing my chakras. I have seen colors. My chakras are awakening. It's all illusory.
How to balance the chakras?
It's not part of this tester or this workshop. Maybe we can talk separately for that.
So when you should write
down.
We'll take it separately. Why don't you just contact me on oshodallas.com? My email is there, and I'll connect you with Sadhana. Okay?
Yeah. You have to book a 1 hour session.
oshodallas.com.
Yes.
So Dhara Chauhan has asked this question: how can we identify medical issues and pain due to anxiety?
Okay. If the pain is out of your hands and it has become really serious issue like cancer or tumor or osteoporosis, then go to the medical treatment. But before then, to a large extent, you can avoid that. Sometimes if it's psychosomatic, then it can be turned back. But it becomes very somatic, and sometimes treatment also spoils it. The treatment goes in such a distorted direction because they are just trying to cover it up. And then to find the original, what was the origin of this, is very difficult. So it has become too physical and a medical issue, then we cannot, of course, deal with meditation. Meditation is healing. Yeah. So come to a point, there are two things. One is negative, one is positive. Negative is remove the cancer, remove the illness. That's where medical people and doctors and pills work. After it is done, when the healing starts, then doctors say, now it's out of our bounds, we cannot do anything. Try alternate therapies. That's the area of healing. And for healing, meditation is tremendously helpful. So at what stage of medical state you are, it depends on that. And I don't want to deal with medical issues because I'm not trained in that. Okay, anything else? If not, we'll do some meditation.
Santoshji, why don't you share some thoughts about the upcoming event?
Upcoming event, so you want me to share my thoughts?
Yes, please.
No, how to book?
Yeah.
How to get people?
Is it more available? Share
Yeah,
this.
how these people can do? Help them.
For Indian friends, they can contact me. My number, I will put it on the chat. And for Western people out of India, direct to oshodallas.com. And actually, I wanted to ask one question about myself, that my anxiety, very common thing. So,
Yes.
so that I am always planning, and just the planning is not getting completing, and I become anxious. That is very discomfortable for me.
You become what?
Anxious about this, that something
Anxious.
is not anxious.
You become
Yes.
anxious about it. Yeah.
Whatever I planned, even the day-to-day life, I am always in hurry. This thing, that thing. I want to manage so many things, and this is my problem. So my that the speedy, yes.
So Osho's message for you, I sent you the article we just published. Do not plan. The planning is from the mind. And life is beyond mind. Life is existence. When you get out of the house, you have no idea what's going to happen on the road. How much traffic there is going to be. Whether his car will be in a good order, where there is going to be a puncture. You have no idea what's going to happen. Whether your phone will be still working or it will be stolen or it's broken. You have no control over it. Yeah? So what do you do now? Start moving, getting out of the house and be in your center. And respond to every moment that's happening. That's all you can do. And there is no anxiety in that. On the contrary, you are very fresh and spontaneous. And there is such a joy in responding to the moment. So for you, the message is, I can say like a tarot card reader, the card for you is do not plan.
And I have to tell the persons about planning the event, how to go about it.
You are teaching about planning.
Yeah.
That's the irony.
So friends, my experience, what Sadhana suggested me, I have felt that when we are in the very moment, this moment, I have even tasted it. But due to this conditioning, that what my problem is, it comes again and again. We have tasted even the meditation for a while, and even we get into the trap of this anxiety and all these things. So what I have felt, this is the not even as Sadhana just told this 2 days affair, but we can break through all these things and get certain things. So it needs one to work upon himself or herself. Maybe the childhood issue, maybe the current issues. So this is the very good opportunity as I feel myself, and I am very grateful to the people working Osho's vision. So, and they have that we were talking that person, those who are willing to do this. So that this 2 days details, this is 4 hours per day. We had 2 workshop earlier. Some of friends are still there, those who have attended it, and it works. And it works to know about ourselves, that even we tasted the meditation for a while, we in the process, and again we get trapped into the our old habits.
Yeah, it's because of the habit.
Yeah. So
And you
these,
know, Santosh,
yeah.
as you said, it works on ourselves. There's some disturbance here.
Oh, no, it's only on Santosh's side. It's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, there is one new word in the science of psychology. They call it introception. We know about introspection, but this is called interoception. And it was so funny. I mean, I was amused. What we do in meditation, they call it introception science. That means knowing your body, knowing yourself from within. So I'll give you some touches, some examples of that then. Because they say you close your eyes and as if you are watching your body from inside. The state of your heart, the state of your lungs, or your pancreas, and what happens? I'll also give you a lesson in this talking to body mind where the body is full of wisdom. So if you don't bring the mind, you close your eyes and just take your attention to that part which needs your attention today. And you step out, you leave it. And slowly the body will take you to that part which needs something. This is introception. And if you can consciously and in a friendly way, respectfully, you can visit your parts of the body from inside, the body starts healing. This happens with this meditation. And they have made a big science out of it, introception. You can study on the Google.
So Sadhana, we may not have a lot of time for meditation today because
Okay,
we're reaching on top of hour. So I would request you to share something about the musicians that we have invited, and then we can show their sample music to them.
Oh, they are wonderful people. One is violinist, and their story is and the flutist. So even Sudhananda. So these two people from India, they are like now they are in the 40s, but they were almost brought up on the premises of meditation resort. In those days, it was ashram and commune. So this Avinash, who is going to come, he's a great, very good violinist. His grandmother used to come when Osho came to Pune in the 70s, and his grandmother was a shepherd woman. She used to live in the mountains and take care of the sheep. So from there, somehow they landed in Pune, completely uneducated, illiterate woman. And their house was near Koregaon Park. And she saw these orange people and the mala and so much crowd of Western people. So just out of curiosity, she started coming to Osho's lectures, Osho's talks. And he was speaking in English in those days. And she used to just come and sit there. And Osho noticed that. And then She didn't understand a word, of course. And then she used to dance. And I had interviewed her. I don't know where that interview is now. There was Rajneesh newsletter. I had interviewed her. And I asked her, you come here every day, and what do you understand? He said, just looking at him. And he said his energy enters through my eyes. That was her expression. It enters through my eyes, goes in the heart, and then it goes in my feet and legs, and I start dancing. Yeah, she has contained everything in this one sentence. And I don't understand anything. But every day she used to drink Osho and go back. And when he noticed, he told his secretary that give her a free pass till she dies. So she was the only one who had free entry. Otherwise, there is nothing is free here. Huh? Everything we pay for. And this Avinash was her grandson. Every month he used to come and renew her pass. So that's the association. And of course, the whole family used to come, very simple people. And then he learned music, he learned violin, and that's how he has grown up with international musicians. The same is about Milind.
So Sadhana, sorry to interrupt. Let me show Avinash is playing violin for now, and then you tell us about Milind, and then we'll play Milind, and then you play about
It's like storytelling tonight.
Sudananda, and then we play that. How about that? Let's do that.
Okay, great. It's like a theater.
Yeah. Live theater.
Yeah.
So this is Avinash.
This our resort.
It's in the
meditation
resort.
resort.
He's playing the violin during the monsoon.
This is one. This is the.
So Sadhana, that was Avinash, by the way. This beautiful what he does, and just take you in a different word. Um, so Sadhana, tell us about Sudhananda or Milind, and why can then
Milind, okay. Another guy is Milind who is coming. He's a flautist. Wonderful flute he plays. Now, this also, you all know, must have known about Hari Prasad Chaurasia, the great master of flutes. So when all these maestros came, there lots of people, lots of great Zakir Hussain, Shiv Kumar Sharma, and dancers. Everyone came when Osho invited. So they used to bring their disciples with them. So like a team of disciples, that's the practice. Come and master is playing, and they used to come in the front row. Somebody playing tambura, or they used to play with him. So Milind came with Hari Prasad when he was just learning with him. And as usually with many people happen, he came, the master came, and he left his disciple here, and Hari Prasad went back, and then Milind kept coming here. And he's from Maharashtrian family in Pune, and that was last time Osho was alive. And he was really tortured, harassed that why do you go to that place? You are leaving your great teacher, guru like Hari Prasad. And he was so pulled here. So he never told his house, in the house, that I'm going to Osho's. Somehow he would sneak out. I'm going to a friend, I'm learning flute. And that's how he started playing with international music band. And then slowly he became part of it. And now he's a great player in his own right. And very simple. Now he'll come and you can see him. So you want to play a little bit? Okay.
That was Milind, friends. Kya baat hai? He was, oh my God, he was so good. And Anita also said, Kya baat hai? I shared this comments with you. Beautiful. You know, I can't imagine that these people are just coming to us at the comfort of our home. I treat these people as gods. I don't know what they do, but they are just take us into a different world. Yeah.
And I think, Rakesh, I think we should all pay them for this.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this is,
Yeah, please. don't take them for granted and just expect this
we
for
already
free.
have and we are going to pay.
Yeah,
And the thing
they're
is
the
that,
gems.
friends, I wanted to tell you, this is the, this is the platform to support them, whatever. We are non-profit, and this is this paid events are just the platform for the musicians, for the facilitators, and for for everything that help us contribute. No money is kept to, me or Osho Dallas, anything. All the money is spread out to whatever is contributed to that, so
And
if
Osho International also.
Osho International and
Yeah.
everything. So if you participate in this, not only just you help the event, but you also help the plenty of the whole platform that facilitate for you. So it's good for you. It is good for us. So all I ask you to just come and participate. And we are doing this free events every weekend. And this is once in a while we do paid event. And this is the basically reason we can keep going further down if we just have some support from you. So, why don't you, Sadhana, would you mind sharing some thoughts about Sudhananda? Then I'll play his music.
So Sudhananda is another part of we call tree of the Osho's garden. There are many trees. He's one of the trees. And it's like musician's heaven, because Osho gives tremendous scope to music. Everywhere, these guys, like mad, they are playing all the time. There is sannyas, there is evening meeting, there are night events, and there are small corner events. Whatever happens, they are very keen on playing. So he was part of that group, international group, and he stayed for quite a long time. And staying there is like being on razor's edge. Not easy to be in that place. You're always grilled and you are roasted and tested, and then you can be there. So how I know him, Sudhananda and I, we participated in one huge orchestra by Usman Khan. He's a great master of sitar. And like all masters are, they used to really grill us. He's a tax master. So it's a 20-piece orchestra. Now imagine 20 musicians and all kinds of international, how he managed it. And their contention is practice. 3 hours, 4 hours, till you really learn it by heart. And see, 1,000 times he used to ask, come on, repeat, repeat. And all these Western people used to freak out. He said, my God, that monster of a man, he's coming again. So one was Rag Malkans. Some people may know it, the name. It was so difficult to play, and Sudhanand played guitar. Now, this cannot be played on guitar. Somebody brought saxophone. Can you imagine Malkans on sax? So whosoever come, he has to be grilled. So these people got so mad, they say this raga is monster kans. So a monster's raga and monster kans. So that time we practiced together and we performed. And he also played in front of Osho, because Osho used to have live music every day in Buddha Grove. So in the beginning when he came, and when he was leaving, again there was live music. So Sudhanand also used to play there. So it's all past association. They are all rooted in Pune, in Osho, and that's why you will find they have a different flavor to their music, to their playing. The meditation peeps in unknowingly, and the notes have a very different, like they have wings and they start flying. And with that music, we start flying.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm going to play Sudhananda. He is also trained music from his, he has done his degree in music. And along with that, he has learned with Osho. So it makes a great combination. And I'm going to play. Whoever you are, under worshiper, lover of living, come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair. Come, whoever you are. Wanderer, worshiper, lover of living.
yet again. Come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair, and it doesn't matter if you've broken your vow 1,000 times before, still and yet again.
So, friends, but I must tell you also, Sadhana herself is a musician and she guides these musicians. And these musicians who are so talented and so trained, and they can't praise enough Sadhana that Sadhana is the one who can create the best music out of us. That's what Milind says. And Sudananda says, and everybody says. So it's a great combination for musicians and the facilitator. I think it's a gift for us to come and join next weekend. So I hope for your
And,
participation. Yeah.
Tomorrow also,
Yeah.
in addition
So,
to that, next.
yeah, tomorrow we have a meditation on a special topic. Sadhana, would you mind?
You can show the flyer if you have.
Yeah, I do. Okay, just 1 minute.
You will go into ecstasy straight away. Cut the anxiety and zoom into ecstasy.
Just a minute.
Little lower. Yes. Oh, straight away into the third eye. So that's tomorrow's topic. Don't miss. Who knows, your third eye may be open.
Yeah, so this is a very mystical topic. We will get to know a lot more about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And,
so we are going to have fun. I enjoy these adventures into Osho. I get to know so many new things.